is iconic because it represents the trade that existed between Nigeria and countries across the Sahara for centuries. And in fact, all along these places, the communities that are living here are aliens. People who are coming from Niger Republic, who are coming from Mali, people that are coming from Senegal, because they have been brought here by the Trans-Saharan trade route. So while effectively there may not be Trans-Saharan trade in the perspective we know it was centuries ago, the trade is still going on, is still existing, and there are people still coming and reflecting that ancient era. So we are going to give you detailed and comprehensive story of this as we move on. Katsina is also one of the most central of the Hausa states, sandwiched between Kano and Sokoto. This came with the consequences in terms of language variation relationship. My purpose here is not to recreate history, but Katsina maintains ancient monuments and artifacts that give refreshing insight into its historical facts and how those monuments and artifacts influence lives and the development of Katsina and neighboring states. On that score, Gobara Minaret is an ideal starting point. This is an architectural wonder that was believed to have been constructed in Katsina around 1348, over 600 years ago. Officials of the National Commission for Museums and Monuments say it is a portion of the first Friday Mosque in Katsina, and it signified the period Islam was introduced to the city. In Katsina State, Gobara Minaret is revered, but actually it depicts the earliest religious practice in Katsina State, Islamic religious practice. But then, more than anything, the people of Katsina revere it as a national icon, or an icon that represents Katsina State. In fact, they compare it with the Big Ben in London, the Eiffel Tower in Paris, or the amphitheater in Rome. In fact, the people of Katsina think it in context much bigger than what those nations feel about their monument.
This minaret is very important to people of Katsina. It is proud. It's where anywhere you go, you can proud as its past central mosque. To see it as the mosque in the center line of Katsina is the first university in the sub-region in those times.
Gobara Minaret is always linked with the efforts of the celebrated Islamic scholar Sheikh Muhammad Abdul Karim Al-Magili and Sarki Muhammad Kourou, the first Muslim ruler in Katsina. Records from Katsina show that at its initial construction, the minaret was over 122 meters or 400 feet tall. The main body of the tower fell at a period in time, and this led to the reduction of the tower to its present height of about 17.11 meters, with a base of approximately 83.36 square meters. The perspectives about Gobara Minaret are unending, like the fact that it was built actually in 1348. To imagine that this building could be constructed in 1348. Malam Umar
Danjuma,
yes, obviously.
Yes.
You are from Katsina, this building is 1348, a very long time.
Even beyond that, we just take 1348 as a near calculation. But it's beyond that. Because the man who built the Timbuktu Mosque, we think is the man who traveled to Katsina and built Gobarau. And he is also the same person, the architect, who built the Babangani Mosque in Zaria. Yes.
So he's an Islamic scholar who is moving around.
Yes. He's
mosques.
Yes, mosque and probably some rural houses.
The catch here is that this masterpiece was built by local builders in Katsina using clay, mud and conical bricks, while Det Palim, Azara in Hausa, was used for ceiling, doors and windows. A testimony that building technology was rife in Hausa land over 700 years ago.
Local builders, craftsmen, those who can use as local building in this state, like Sarki Magina and others.
You mean Sarki Magina in Katsina at that time?
Yes.
Was part of the crew that built this?
Yes. Can use as a clay and wood to build it. Okay. Those are the materials who can use the building.
So are the materials sourced from Katsina, or they have been sourced outside Katsina?
We are sources from Katsina, clay and mud.
So they are available in Katsina and
Yes.
the people use them?
Yes.
Gobaro minaret, on the other hand, has similarity with the building designs and pattern of Songhai and Mali. Many scholars say this underscores the history of political relations and transmission of local indigenous language and skills.
If you see the trans-Saharan trade routes that starts from Katsina city here to Maradi, to Timbuktu, to Sudan, to Tunisia, this same route is the same that you can travel on through to this village, towns.
These people who are also rulers and scholars, or maybe missionaries, Islamic missionaries.
Islamic, yes.
They are coming through the same route.
The same routes.
And going through various.
And they do trade also, because the Katsina people do trade with these people on the same routes.
On the same route.
Yes.
It is conspicuous that no mosque is around the Gobaro minaret today. It stands alone. What happens to the mosque, and at what period? My respondents could not come with a realistic answer. They believed, however, that the mosque which sheltered the minaret attracted students across western and central Sudan and the Maghreb. Later, it served as a kind of university.
So it was a university before it is turned into mosque. Oh. You see, Islam has already been established because here is a center of learning. Before it is even transformed to mosque, it was a university. Learned like Saint Walid and Marana, Walid and Takum were all students here. So Islam has already been established in Katsina before 1338, before Gobaro minaret was built.
So the Gobaro minaret was even a later development?
Later development. And this is the second or third transformation, because the original building was not like this. So it was rebuilt twice, I think twice or 3 times, I believe, yes.
Oh, you mean we are not seeing the original?
We are not seeing the original. We have not, even myself, I have not met the original. I don't think even my father met the original. So
what of the integrity of the place and other things?
Oh, very big. Yes.
So at what time, at what period do we say we have these changes? I cannot see a mosque now, I cannot see a school. Yeah, obviously.
Well, imagine the years. You see, they said 1338. 1338 to date. How many years? Even my great-grandfather was not born.
Gobaro minaret used to be the highest building in ancient Katsina and Empire. The minaret as it stands today is the product of that exercise. The minaret, apart from serving purposes of scholarship and Islamic learning, was used as a watchtower. Custodians of Gobaro minaret say the edifice attracts scores of students, scholars and tourists all year round. In truth, this monument will never fail to capture the minds of its visitors on the strength of its architecture, aesthetics and history. There are concerns, however, with the maintenance of this national monument. At its deep recesses, birds, bats especially, have taken over. The places stink of their feces. Their clumsiness are no addition to the beauty of the place. These can potentially drive away visitors. Moreover, the rooms along the minaret's elevation are barely given any care. If only this national edifice can enjoy more serious concern. Earlier, we established how trans-Saharan trade routes terminate at Opar Guga. Trade across the Sahara has shaped relations between Katsina and the outside world for centuries. One of the biggest monuments to this relation is obviously the market in Jibia, some 15 kilometers north of Katsina. Jibia market has been there for centuries. It is precisely located at the foot of the trans-Saharan trade routes. In modern day, it is a border market, and although in Nigeria, Niger Republic is barely a kilometer away. Up to this day, Jibia market maintains its multicultural and multinational patronages. Officials of the market say 40% of the people who come to the market Saturday through Sunday are foreign nationals. An estimated 30% come from Niger Republic, 10% from Mali, and countries along that route. trade relations had made this market seamless. Hausa is the main language of trade. It is difficult to find major commodities of trade that characterize that golden period of trans-Saharan trade in the market today. So, date palm is still a major foreign import, as well as tiger nuts and potassium. As a matter of fact, the story of Libya market today is a story of changes brought about by modernity and creation of states. Its unfading value remains its international outlook. As it was during the period of trans-Saharan trade, trekking on foot and beasts of burden are still being used to arrive the market. There is, however, the intervention of automobiles now. Vehicles like this one, fit for the crossing of the Sahara. You don't get to see any of these kind of vehicles, but in places like Libya, all these vehicles are heading to various international destinations. One feature of them is that on their arrival or return journey from the market, they are always overloaded.
The reason you see overload like this is simple. In many of the routes, only one vehicle passes through. So if a person misses it, he missed market that week. He has to wait for another week. This is why you see a vehicle with over 30 people and fully packed with goods. Yes, there are fears, but accidents are rare happenings. But I admit there are elements of recklessness.
The overload is not only in human content, but also in the items purchased. Of particular interest to me were rubber gallons strapped to the body of vehicles containing highly inflammable commodities like petroleum, kerosene, and gas.
Many of these commuters come to the market from villages, not cities. They bring mostly grains to the markets. Going back, they
Because of the transborder nature of this market, there exists an extensive yet informal bureau de change. This exchange center is the engine of trade in Libya market. The exchange market actually employing the more flourishing businesses in Libya market. A massive business in Libya market is its livestock content. It may have been a thriving business during the heydays of trans-Saharan trade. It is elevated to greater heights today. Camel, cattle, donkeys, sheep, goats, and poultry are the main products of the livestock market. 80% of them come from Niger Republic and beyond. We arrive at the market when something different is happening to its livestock segment, and it is changing the behavior of the market. The donkey market in particular has a unique case.
When you come to Libya market, donkey market is iconic. At least 12 trailer loads of donkeys are being done weekly to markets in the south of Nigeria. But now the donkey market is depleted. You can look at the market. There are no donkeys. In fact, the available donkeys cannot make up out to one trailer. There are so many reasons attested to it. Many people are saying that there is a law now in Niger that the donkey should not be imported to Nigeria. The reason why we should talk to the dealers. Thank you.
The donkey market is witnessing a holiday it has never witnessed in a long time. And major dealers and unit buyers are complaining.
Samaila Ilyas has been a dealer of donkeys at Jibia Market for close to 20 years. It has been a successful business for him and he has been doing fine. They have been relating with the people of so well. But now he is one of the people who say that donkey importation to Nigeria is no longer.
What we hear is that Niger Republic has stopped donkey exports. The complaint that their export is ending their donkey population and their subjects don't get the donkey for their agriculture and domestic chores. We used to load 20 trailers of donkey in this market every week. This week, not a single
For 28 years, this man said donkey business in Jibia had been his life. Now the market is dying. He is thinking of going back home to start farming.
Well, Yahya Ilu here is one of the dealers who buy donkeys in bulk from Jibia Market, load them in the trailer and take them to the south. Today, Yahya Ilu is in the market. He could not even find five, not talk of trailer to take to Jibia. What is the problem?
Almajiri.
Kai kana loading jakuna.
Wannan gaskiya ne.
A trailer. Ka kai su kudu ko?
Izambo ba?
Izambo.
We took the donkeys to Izambo in southern Nigeria, in Enugu State. We learned the president and legislature in Niger Republic have stopped donkey exports to us, afraid that their donkey would finish. I load 6 to 10 trailers of donkey every week to Enugu. This week, not a single one is loaded.
Shine ka ganan da muna loda trailer uku muna loda 5 6 7 8 har 10. Amma yanzu
Although the donkey market is different, there is a common trend that is affecting all the livestock market. People bringing cattle or camel from the Niger to Jibia are no longer doing so. They no longer break even. The market, which week in, week out, see tens of trailer loads of sheep, goats, and cow leave for market across Nigeria, are no longer loading. The animals are not coming to the market in the number they used to do.
Most of our trading partners are our brothers from Niger Republic. We can't do without one another. They bring the livestock, and when they do so, the market would fill. It so happens now that the people of Niger would use safer to buy livestock from home. The moment they bring the animals here, when they sell and exchange naira currency, they record losses. They don't break even. Many have stopped the business. Some now buy fair animals here and take it to Niger and gain profits.
Market can have as many as 200 camels. Today, it is almost 1 o'clock in the evening, but Jibia Market has only 3 camels. I'm on top of one. What is happening to Jibia Market? It is not getting the camel it is used to get. What is the actual case? Many people here have different theories. Many have different stories. So, but what are these stories? Let me calm down. We'll get the stories in detail.
Our case is simple. Exchange rate is stopping the markets. People no longer bring camel from Niger Republic to this market because
this is the network service of the NTA. We now
Your Excellency, yes, so that's all we can. CON, GSSRS, Governor of Rivers State.
Hello. Hello, and thank you for joining us for the live broadcast of another milestone in the history of Rivers State by Africa's largest TV network, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. On behalf of the outside broadcast crew, my name is Ameze Igiebo, saying welcome to the ESCO chamber of the Government House in Port Harcourt, the capital city of the treasure base of the nation, Rivers State.
And all the management staff of the gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, we are here this afternoon to witness a historic moment in the life of Rivers State, with the signing of agreement on construction of 3 flyover bridges in Port Harcourt. It was Warren Bennis who said, and I quote him, "Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality." Your Excellency, 4.5 years ago, you engineered a silent revolution when you bettered the new vision for Rivers State. Under the new vision blueprint, urban renewal and infrastructural development occupy a pride of place. In your second tenure inaugural speech on May 29 this year, you promised the people of the state that 3 flyover projects will be constructed at Rumokoro, 1st and 2nd Artillery and Garrison Junctions. Today's signing of this contract agreement is the fulfillment of the promise you made a few months ago. What is significant about this project, people may ask? The 3 flyover projects are to be constructed simultaneously within a period of 16 months. Your Excellency, it is only an unrepentant patriot, a master builder, who has a passion to serve, that will embark on such gigantic projects at the same time, looking at the present economic situation in the country. And I dare say, Your Excellency, this is a monumental task, and that because it is in your character to fulfill promises, 16 months will be 16 months. Having said that, Your Excellency, with your leave, I will invite the Honorable Attorney General of the state, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Works, the Solicitor General, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Justice, and Dr. Lars Richard, with the management team of the Australia Nigeria PLC, to conduct the ceremonial signing of this historic contract. Thank you very much.
And other lofty reasons, any moment from now, the Rivers State Governor and the Julius Berger Construction Company will put pen to paper in a memorandum of understanding to kickstart the process of constructing 3 flyovers in Port Harcourt City and Obiakbo local government areas of Rivers State. The 2006 census data indicates that Rivers State had a population of 5,198,716 people. 13 years after, and with reports of population explosion around the globe, it will not just be out of place to think or believe that Port Harcourt is one of the cities experiencing increase in population growth. It's imperative that flyovers be constructed to ease the gridlock or traffic congestion, which has become synonymous with the city. due to population growth and increase in vehicular movement within the city and environs, it has become imperative that Rivers State be given more of flyovers, and that is why a decision was taken by the governor and the garrison and the Rumokoro axis of Rivers State. In fact, the decision to have these additional flyovers, we learned, was taken when the Garrison and Trans-Amadi Road was inaugurated. It was in response to easing the untold hardship of motorists and commuters due to the heavy congestion in those axes.
To make a switch.
And we will so continue the success story of infrastructure development in Rivers State. All began with Operation Zero Potholes in Port Harcourt, initiated by Governor Wieke in 2015. In the meantime, Julius Berger could hand over 35 roads successfully to the government, like the Eumel-Lemgo-Apache road recently this year. Additionally, Julius Berger has commissioned the pleasure park, including the restaurant and the cinema, which provides recreation facilities for the citizens of Rivers. Further projects like Government House Phase 3 and 4 could be finished and handed over to the government as well. Julius Berger.
To the glory of God, we've been able to carry out, to stop the illegal street trading and motorbikes on the roads. People did not believe us that can be done. But today, they can drive very well along the streets of Port Harcourt. We may not have achieved to the 100%. When you are starting things, people will fight you back. Yes, from the report I got, criminals are trying to fight back, but I can assure you, we'll overwhelm them, we'll win them. Rivers State will come back to what it used to be as the garden city of Nigeria. But importantly is these three flavors. So many people have said, oh, it's a mere talk. Some people who lost their jobs here, who are in Lagos, who have no job, have criticized that these three flyovers would not be a reality. But today they are ashamed that it's a reality. People talk about job creation. What is job creation? When people talk about job creation, who are doing their jobs, we are doing this, let them know that we are not hiding anything. We are very transparent, that we are prepared. And it's a record time that the mosque complete this job. 16 months to do 3 flyovers simultaneously, not after they finish this.